Greetings, everyone. This is Simon Okelo. I'm the founder and executive director of One Vibe Africa. This is another episode of Diaspora Connect. It's a video series that we are filming in Seattle at Cafe Avole on Rainier and Holy. I'm truly privileged to be sitting with my sister Nourah Yonous. Nourah, how are you today?
I'm well, my brother. Thank you.
Fantastic. Man, I know you as a go-getter and somebody that thinks about things and you go out there and do them. I remember when you're still conceptualizing the idea of African Women Business Alliance. That's when we started interacting, and then these days I see how quickly things are progressing and how much work you're putting into it, and your mother as well, right? So there's so much we're going to talk about, but tell us how you came to Seattle originally.
Wow, first of all, congrats, my brother. And I'm so honored. Thank you so much for doing everything that you've done. And I'm so glad we were able to connect as we were trying to formulate everything.
Yeah.
How I came to Seattle? 4 years ago. So still brand new.
Wow.
I moved here from California, Bay Area. California is still sort of like a second home for me.
Right.
But I came here, to be honest with you, because I was very passionate about social justice and equity work, and Seattle was very impressive in terms of the equity language,
Right.
progressiveness.
Right.
And then also here we have the second largest Somali community.
Right.
In
the US?
Second largest Somali community diaspora in the US beside Minnesota. It could have changed because people are shifting right now. But when I moved here, that was like the motivation of it. Like,
Right.
I have largest Somali community I didn't have in the Bay Area, and I really wanted to connect with my African community, and everything in Seattle seemed pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And so I moved here, and I'm glad I did.
Yeah. Wow. So 4 years ago, then tell us a little bit about how African Women Business Alliance came to being. Like, what motivated you to create this movement that is bringing some of the most amazing women I know in this region together? Just recently I learned that Abari from Africa Youth Coalition is involved, then Ansari.
I'm honored. We are honored. We're honored.
Now,
Yeah.
tell us more, like, what drove you to create this?
Well, it's been a long term coming,
Yeah.
to be honest. It's always been a passion of me. I remember being a very young girl at home in Tanzania. I grew up in Tanzania, and we are Muslims, and we grew up giving charity. And every Friday, people would come to the house and ask for, food or whatever. And I remember I still have this vivid memory of a woman with a child in her back coming and saying, I need something because I'm divorced, I don't have, my child needs food. So that was just a concept when I was a little girl, but I got into trouble because I felt the need to not just give something, but ask her to do something with that. So I went and I took some food from our pantry room, and I said, start a business.
Yeah.
I was 12 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. So the passion of the financial security for women has been my thing for a long time. But I've done nonprofit work. It's been a while. However, when I moved here, I realized that we have a lot of amazing African women and Black women diaspora doing amazing work in the business, but they're not scaling. I myself wanted to start a business back in California almost 10 years ago. I was still young. I was not taken seriously because people would see me and say, you look like you're 12, why are you here?
Wow.
But at the time, I really wanted to start a business and support artisans in Tanzania and bring the market here. Furniture, I wanted to bring furniture from Tanzania.
Which part of Tanzania did you grow up?
Dar es Salaam.
Oh, Dar es Salaam.
Yeah.
Man, I love Tanzania. I drove from Kisumu, my hometown, to Mangochi in Malawi. So I had to drive across Tanzania. It took us 3 days to cross Tanzania.
Wow.
It's a huge country.
It's beautiful. Yeah, it's huge. It's all huge.
Wow. Okay, so African Women's Alliance. I wanted us to talk about parenting. I've 2 kids myself here in the US, and if I were home as a man, I would not even think about my kids, the kids would be well taken care of by my sisters and the family. But here, I have to leave work, run home, and be a dad. It's like it's a different vibe. Many people don't like it, but because I love my kids and I want to be close to them, and because of the pressure of living here, you find some solace in having people that don't really know what's going on. Everything is just perfect for them. So when you're around them, you find yourself just being like a child yourself. But it doesn't take away the struggle that the parents go through. I was just learning from a friend not even 2 days ago that her mother used to do 3 jobs, and she used to be involved in so many road accidents because sometimes she'd fall asleep on the steering wheel while juggling these jobs, and she was a single mother. So, I've been curious to talk to a single mother. Like, you're not a single mother, of course. Yeah, you're not a single.
I see myself as a matriarch.
Yeah.
Matriarch, not to go there, but yeah, I try to not take the single motherhood piece out.
Yeah.
Because the father of my child is a great father and is still very involved.
Yeah.
So
now tell us just a little bit of how parenting experience is for you, and a little bit about how it is to raise a child here.
It's hard. I'm raising a black boy. He's born in Berkeley, California. He's an Somali American. But as we can understand, I think the question of parenting for me is mostly personal, but also like understanding the hardship of immigrants in this country. So I think it's hard, but I'm glad I'm with him. My child is my everything, and he's the person who actually, we see parenting as one way thing, as if like we're teaching our kids, but for me, my son has been my teacher as well.
I can relate totally.
So
what's the name of your son?
Abdulrazak.
Abdulrazak. What does it mean?
Razak means it's 2 names. It's one name, but it's also 2 names. Razak, it's a provider in Arabic, so it's one of the 99 names of God. And Abdulrazak, Abdi, it's I would say a child of God, I guess. If you go deeper, it has a different meaning to it, which I'm not too happy with it, but I named him after my brother, basically. So he has,
Now, when we talk about Diaspora Connect, we try to demystify the diaspora experience. And a lot of people that think about us living in the diaspora, especially people back home that are just imagining what it is like. Some people think that, all of us are driving Lexuses, and all of us we have yachts, we are doing great, But we love doing this in a small cafe like this because sometimes we do big events and they think that, if these guys are doing Madaraka Festival at Mopo, these guys live large, Anyhow, in that spirit, I just wanted you to help me, have a little bit of a conversation about Somali. We'll be having a Somali dinner here soon and we'll go even deeper. But the current Somali president used to live in the diaspora. He's a dual citizen of the US and Somali, and I think he's doing such a great job, Recently I've been seeing tourism videos and people going back to Somalia for tourism. How does this make you feel? And what can you say about it?
I consider myself a Pan-African, and I wish I have been more involved in what's currently happening politically back in Somalia, but I haven't, to be honest. But I'm really happy the fact that things are shifting back home. We look at Ethiopia, they have the first female president. That was really personal for me. And really powerful for me as well. And in Somalia, things are shifting. There's a lot of, there's a great union happening between Eritrea and Ethiopia. Like this year has been amazing in terms of our development as Pan-African.
And the US just opened their embassy in Somalia this week.
Wow.
I think like 2 days ago. After 30 years.
The whole country is shifting. It's been from being known as a failed state, something as a Somali person, I used to hate that. But through resilience, I think the Somali diaspora has proven you know, we are very, very resilient, and not just Somali diaspora, African diaspora in general.
Yeah.
We go through stuff, we learn from it, it's history, and then we pick up from there. My only hope is that we can shift the mentality of individualism and statehood and nationalism based on the colonial legacies that we had inherited. Yeah.
Now, there are quite a few African women that don't know about the African Women Business Alliance.
Yeah.
Could you just let them know how they can connect with you, where they can find you, and what are some of the benefits of being a part of what you do?
So we haven't actually, I haven't talked a little bit about it. We talked more about me, but so African Women Business Alliance, we are grassroots, data, mission, and community-driven practice for and Black women diaspora. Our mission is to provide African women immigrants and Black women diaspora with holistic approach and culturally responsive tools required to start, grow, and scale a business through a macro movement and holistic approach involving training, one-on-one mentorship, coaching, and access to seed capital, I think.
I have a question though.
Yes.
Why not African Men's Business Association?
That's a very good question, and why not, I would say.
Yeah.
You know, why not? And my brother, I'll be very, very frank with you.
Yeah.
I take lifts sometimes, and I run with African men, youth that are Africans, and Black men diaspora in general, and they say the same thing, like, ooh, okay, so why not us, you know? And I'm raising a Black son. It's not like I'm discriminating or anything, but if we look globally, globally, Black diaspora did not inherit a history of economic liberation.
Yes.
Nationally, we know only 2% of venture capital funding goes to women in general. Only 2%. And only 0.2% of that goes to Black women diaspora. I don't know about Black women diaspora, but it goes to Black women. And we know for a fact that this country, Black women diaspora are the largest growing pool of entrepreneurs. You know, how is that fair? It's not fair. It means we need to wake up and we need to do more, but those solutions have to come from us.
Yeah.
And locally, we know there's a huge untapped potential of African immigrant women doing businesses. So that's the untapped potential that I was able to tap into, because it was ignored, it was untapped, and it was overlooked.
Yeah.
You know, it's easy to underestimate people who look like us. But we are out there, and we deserve resources equally. However, we cannot just say give us resources. We also have to prove ourselves, and we have to work as hard as possible. We have to work together. And so that's why I created this platform. It's really a safe space for Black women diaspora to come together with everything they have, or with however they show up. It doesn't matter what you have. But I see you as my sister, and I see you as someone who has incredible potential, and we need to build our economies, and I see entrepreneurship as a tool for that.
Thank you so much. They say that if you educate a woman, you've educated the village. So in this case, you're empowering women and giving them the tools to thrive, and you're basically, you know, empowering the entire community. So I appreciate you so much for the work that you're doing.
Thank you, my brother. I will go back and say I try to go away, remove the word empowerment to empower women. I believe we are all very powerful already. You know, that's the language a lot of mainstream people use. Say we are working to empower women. Women don't need to be empowered. We are already incredibly, divinely powerful. We are the force that sustain the whole universe, you know? So what I'm doing is basically opening the platform and say, this is for me and you, and we need to build it together. And so going back to the why African women, why Black women, why not Black women? You know, why are we overlooking them? Why do we not have enough women running Fortune 500 companies? You know, only one Black woman is a CEO of a Fortune 500 company.
In the US?
In the US.
And who is this?
And only 5%. She's God, what's her name?
I'm learning so much here tonight.
I forgot her name, but she is just one woman. and 1 woman of color.
Yeah.
There's only 5 women in Fortune 500 companies.
Yeah.
2 women are women of color, 1 woman is black.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to bring this big things. I'm just saying we need to work together, and
It's
we need to
critical,
start
yeah.
there. It's critical.
It's critical.
You know,
it's critical.
because it's easy to say we don't have our faces out there, but some of us are doing the work, and some of us are doing enough.
Yeah.
But it's like we need to focus on supporting those that can, that can be uplifted, like Nansari.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you.
hold on for a second. So our women have already been empowered. There's no point in talking about that anymore, and that's the biggest takeaway here for me. Now,
I'm sorry.
No, it's perfect. It's perfect
Okay.
because it's about learning. That's what this whole work is about. You know. Now, would you look at the camera and just give our audience an opportunity to just tell them to subscribe to One Vibe TV on YouTube?
Yes. Please go to YouTube and subscribe on One Vibe. Subscribe One Vibe YouTube channel. And is that all?
It's on YouTube, yeah.
It's just YouTube.
Yeah, One Vibe TV.
Where can they follow you on Instagram?
Just I am One Vibe Africa is the hashtag we generally use. So that's overall on social media.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you again for creating the time to be on Diaspora Connect tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you so
appreciate you
much.
so much.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Good night.
Yeah.